Hey, what's up guys? This is Community Starcraft 2. I'm Sidewinder, your host, and I'm going to be showing you the Vortex Nuke. This is going to be a new series that I'm opening up called Team Lulz. This is going to be for nothing but games where I do really stupid stuff and it works in team games. And some of them are just in like really super low leagues and I'm just goofing off and whatever. But this one was actually during our placement matches when I was playing with Solid Artifacts, who is he's a Zerg player normally, he's off racing as Terran, and we wanted to try out a strategy of vortexing the enemy army when they're all together, and then landing a nuke as soon as the vortex comes out. And we had done it in a few games, and it worked out okay, but we couldn't tell if our competition was any good. But after we played this game, it actually placed our 2-on-2 team in Diamond. So apparently this works pretty much wherever you want to do it. So if you're running some 2-on-2 games, give this a try and I'll walk you through how to do it. We're going to be fighting, in this case, a Terran and a Protoss. Or rather, this is the Terran and this is the Protoss. I'm the purple Protoss. You can see my name right there. And I can't bring up any like name screens or anything because there's more than 2 people in the game, so that might look a little weird. And Solid Artifacts is a teal Terran. What you're essentially going to do is the Protoss player needs to Mothership Rush. And yeah, it's really risky. So you might just outright die in the first couple of minutes when you're running this, but who cares? I mean, it's team games, and nobody, I don't think anybody really tries their hardest in team games. They're just kind of a good forum to go in and goof off. At least that's what I use it for, but whatever. As Terran, we'll start off with that. You're gonna, I'm laughing at some worker harassment that we're doing over here just to be annoying. But if you're Terran, what you need to do is go for your barracks on 12, your gas on about 13, which is all normal, and your orbital command on 15 or 16, whatever you can do it on. As Protoss, well, I guess I'll keep going with Terran. You can do this any number of ways, but essentially you need to get a nuke up and ready to go at about, I'd say 7:30, because that's about the time when the mothership is going to be out, and she won't have quite enough energy, and you might actually need to use that nuke defensively. But nonetheless, you're just going to run a 1 barracks. He's actually going to go up to 3 barracks, I think it was. It's either 3 or 4. It doesn't really matter. You're just going to produce bio, 1 or 2 ghosts, and a nuke, and be ready to roll as soon as the Protoss player gets the mothership ready. The mothership is really what's going to make this all work, so the Terran player kind of just has to hold up to wait for the mothership to get out. So if you're the Protoss player, you really need to go for a gate. I usually do it on 13. Cybernetics core as soon as the gateway is done, and then a Stargate as soon as the Cybernetics core finishes. You want to get your second gas right after you drop the Cybernetics core, so you're mining off of 2 gas, and then your Terran teammate is going to have to donate about 50 gas to you at some point in the game. So as soon as the Terran player can afford it, send over 50 gas. There is a resource trading panel that's right up here in the middle of the game that you can go into. Resource trading opens up just before the mothership's about ready to get started. But again, as Protoss, you're going to want to drop your Stargate. You should have enough resources to line up so that you can get your fleet beacon down, which again is just going to be in this panel right here. Drop your fleet beacon. It's best to drop it in a hidden location if you're really worried about it getting scouted, but I mean, this is still diamond level in replays, and I don't feel like I'm even really doing anything, so you can get away with this pretty much wherever. I wouldn't too much about it. So we're going to get the fleet beacon down, and then you're going to try to save up Chrono Boost on your Nexus, which I don't do because I'm an idiot. But you're going to try to save up your Chrono Boost so you have 100 Chrono Boost ready to Chrono Boost out that mothership as fast as you can. In this game, he actually gave me too much gas, so if you have any extra gas, give it back to your Terran teammate because they're going to need it. And yes, you will need a factory in order to start that nuke. So he went for 1 barracks, a factory, into a 2nd barracks, and he's going to drop his Ghost Academy here in just a second, as soon as the gas affords it. And I'm going to start my mothership and Chrono Boost that out as fast as I can. Ideally, I should be Chrono Boosting it the whole time, but I don't save it up. As soon as you start your mothership, drop 2 gateways, start your Warp Gate tech, which you don't start until now. Start your Warp Gate tech, and then drop a 4th gateway. And I like to drop a Twilight Council so I can get Blink on my Stalkers. You can do whatever you want. Ultimately, you're going to want to also drop a robotic so you can chrono boost out 1 or 2 observers and lead with your observers so you can see exactly where their army is. There's kind of a lot of dead time in this game. I've kind of explained the build. You can see my teammate has a ghost out and like 4 marines. This is at 7:30 almost, and I have 1 zealot on the field. So this is definitely a build where if you get rushed at the typical time that you might in team games, you're probably just going to die. So you kind of have to go into this expecting to die in certain games, but I mean, again, this is just Team Lulz. Nobody should really care about winning or losing. It should just be about doing funny stuff, and funny stuff we shall do. Mothership is almost done, and if I had been doing it correctly, the mothership should be out at about 7:30, but instead she's going to come out at about 8:30, almost a minute late, just because I didn't save up my chrono boosts. Once your gateways are up, I like to just produce exclusively Stalker. Your units aren't going to be getting in very large fights anyway. You're just going to seek around for the best opportunity to vortex their army and then drop that nuke. Out comes the mothership. Here she is. That is so beautiful to see. I love the mothership. And then you're going to wait for your energy, because she only spawns with 50 energy, so you're going to wait until you get 100 energy. This is about the time when you need your observers out. I actually don't even have any, because again, I'm just a doofus and I'm just kind of screwing around. The funny thing is that this mothership being out will actually hold off a lot of pressure if they try to come up here. And one thing my teammate warned me about that I didn't really think about is Dark Templar. You can just hold position on your stalkers right here and put the mothership over top of everything. That way it'll create a cloaked wall that they can't even see, so the Dark Templars can't even attack it. So cool little tip there that you can try out. My teammate's scouting around for their army. We have no idea where they are. This is where they actually are. We finally spot them, and that's what cues us to go. But I'm just warping in stalkers, getting my mothership ready, building up energy on there. She's almost ready for a vortex. And my teammate does have a couple of ghosts on the field and a nuke in his silos. You can see that little 1 right there. We're still just kind of seeking around for where they are. As soon as I get my observer, he's going to scan his army, and I'm going to fly my observer in here and see where they are. And in a lot of maps, you're actually going to see in these 2-on-2 games, the teammates will usually sit their army in between their 2 bases. So that's where you should really look. You can also use this offensively, so if they come in and they try to fight you and they get all their army, like right here, you can vortex them and then drop the nuke. And I'll show you the timing of the nuke. Well, actually I can just tell you. The timing of the nuke is very particular. It needs to be, you need to drop the vortex on whatever you're vortexing in, and then you have to count to about 3 game seconds before you drop the nuke. Otherwise it's going to go off too early, and they will not get hurt by it, because there is a slight bit of invulnerability as they come out of the vortex. So yeah, we finally are going to see them here in just a second, and we're going to move out. I'll go ahead and fast forward up to that point. Whoops, I'm not going to be talking to nobody. Here comes my observer, which is scouting around, trying to see what's going on, and he does scan here in just a second. There we go. And we see them, and that's going to prompt us to go, because they're all in one spot, and ideally you want to hit as many units as you can. If they're all clumped up like this, try to just get them in the middle, and then you can fight their units that are stray, and you'll win because, you know, you have more units out. Let me go ahead and slow this down, just to show you exactly how this is going to work. And this game in particular was hilarious. This was the reason I decided to cast it, because we had done this a few times, but this one worked out perfectly. Usually you can erase at least 1 player's army with the nuke, and then you'll have 2 players' armies versus 1 player's, so you should be fine. So I'm going to come in here, try to drop the vortex like right in the middle as best as I can. Your mothership might take some damage. I do get a decent amount in there, and then you're going to want to bring your units up to fight. He does drop the nuke, and if you look at their vision, this is what they're going to see. I mean, people are not going to expect that. They're going to be focusing more on the vortex and on fighting your army, but as soon as they come out, he's like, yeah, let's go get him. Yeah, oh, there goes his entire army. Kablam. And that's game. I mean, they quit shortly afterward, but we have an army on the field, and they have absolutely nothing. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys will try that in your 2-on-2 games, because I mean, we were just goofing off. We were just goofing off with this in a 2-on-2 game and in our placement matches, and we did this for 5 games in a row to get in our placement matches, and it put us in diamond. after winning 4 out of the 5. So whatever. This should work for you guys. Go ahead and give it a try. Hope you enjoy it. I'll be back soon for more casts.